Welcome back. So, not a wrestling video this time. I know, shocking. I wanted to do something a little different. A lot of movies coming out this year, and sometimes a movie comes out and there's a lot of hatred towards it. Whether it's shortly after it comes out, a long time after it comes out, or just immediately after it comes out. People seem to hate a movie for whatever reason. Now, sometimes the movie does get the hatred it deserves, or even people being disappointed by it. Look at me, I did a top 12 disappointing movies. But sometimes there are movies that get a hatred that don't deserve it. At least I don't think so. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to do a top 6 movies that people hate that aren't that bad. Now, you're probably wondering, why only 6? Honestly, the top 3 needed more time for me to talk about them. And I didn't want to do like 3 or 4 parts. So I decided to cut it into 6. So with that being said, here we go. Number 6 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. Now, this movie is an interesting case because when it first came out, people liked it. They thought it was really good. And it was, it was turtles. What were we gonna get? But as time went on, people started not like it as much. People even started to hate it, especially when people started hating Vanilla Ice. That's when I was like, oh, this movie sucks because somehow Vanilla Ice ruined it. And I've even had conversations with people who think that the second movie is worse because it has Vanilla Ice in it. But it's actually, to me, it's more of a time capsule movie. Because he was just pop at the time, so of course they're going to put him in there. Does that mean the movie is great? No. I'm going to talk about that in another segment, but I think that the movie is good. And there's still some good action. There's a little bit more, comedy in it, a little more tongue-in-cheek style to it. It's still a decent movie, and not to mention we get more mutants. Just like I was saying with the review of the new movie coming out, I thought it was cool that we got New Mutants, and it was still an interesting movie, even with the Vanilla Ice cameo. And so it's an okay movie, but I don't think it deserves the hate it gets. I mean, you're probably wondering why didn't you go with the other movie, the new one, since you defended it in your review. Mainly because I was doing this I had this idea for this list before I even saw the 2014 version. And I just thought it was time to do it. The other reason is I wanted to see if the movie would gain any sort of traction in the next year or so. Until the second movie comes out. And then I'll judge both of them as a set. Now, on to number 5. Which is another sequel, Jaws 2. Now, people seem to think the Jaws sequels suck, but not really. I mean, the third one was pretty cheesy and dumb. The fourth one, but the second one I thought was good. It's a solid movie. The only problem with it is that it has such a hard act to follow with the first Jaws movie, which became such a worldwide cultural phenomenon, that it didn't really matter how good the second movie was. It was never going to really live up to the first one. And I like that they brought back Roy Scheider as Chief Brody. It was cool to see him actually be paranoid about the shark and about what's going on and people not believing him again. And it was kind of a look into his mind of he may be losing it because the fear that happened of what happened in the first movie was now coming again, and he was trying to warn everybody again of being ignored. It's a good idea, and it was done okay. It was a nice little touch with having the shark get burned in his face, and some of the scenes are pretty horrific when you think about it. Like the woman getting eaten right in front of the kid. That was messed up, but it was a good scene. And so the movie doesn't deserve the hatred as the other Jaws movies get, But I think the second movie is definitely worth the watch, and definitely a worthy sequel to the original Jaws movie. Right. Now, on to number 4 is Batman Forever. Yeah, another sequel. Yeah, most of these will be sequels, I will admit. Now, Batman Forever gets a lot of hatred, especially because of Joel Schumacher and Batman and Robin. But I don't hate Batman Forever. You know how I feel about Batman and Robin. That movie was just, ugh, that was awful. But Batman Forever is actually good. I mean, I think people just hate it because they like to lump the Schumacher Batman movies together and say, oh, those suck. But Batman Forever needs to be separated from Batman and Robin, because this movie was actually good. There was some good action to it. Val Kilmer is a good Bruce Wayne. I thought he did a good job with Bruce Wayne. Very unassuming, just like Michael Keaton was in the first 2 Batman movies. Very low key, and was somebody that when you thought of, oh, Batman being Val Kilmer, that's an interesting choice. Not to mention the fact that we got to see him do something as Batman and Bruce Wayne that you didn't see too much of in the second movie and in the fourth movie, which is see him be the detective. See, the first movie, see him figure out what all what's killing the people, all the makeup and hairspray and all that. In this one, you figure out he's figuring out who the Riddler is, and so having him do that was a nice touch. I'm a fan of Jim Carrey in the 90s. I was a big fan of his, and so I will defend his performance as Edward Nygma. And it was really cool, I thought, to see him start off kind of a manic, kind of crazy scientist, and then devolve into, or evolve, depending on how you want to look at it, into the Riddler. And see him enjoying the suffering that Two-Face was committing onto people of Gotham. It was a nice casting choice to have Tommy Lee Jones go, because Tommy Lee Jones is always in the serious roles. He's always a straight-laced guy. To see him be, kind of comical, it was a nice departure from that. And it kind of sticks out in some of his other performances. So I liked it. And they had some good chemistry together. The scenes that they shared together, I don't know how much friendship they had, or they hated each other when the cameras weren't rolling, but I thought in the scenes they're kind of fun. It was cool to see them together. And even when that first scene where the Riddler invades Two-Face's hideout, it was a really fun scene for me, and it was one of those things that the personalities of the characters kind of meshes, at least to me, at least. I think they mesh. Also, Crystal O'Donnell's performance as Dick Grayson, aka Robin, in this one was much better than his performance in Batman and Robin. He was angry, he was pissed off, he wanted revenge, and that sort of character was good to see. And have Bruce Wayne and Batman try to tell him this is not the way to go. You will not be happy if you try and get revenge, because there will always be another victim you need to satisfy your thirst for revenge. And so that was a nice little message as well, but not done over the top. So I think this movie does deserve to be separated from the other Schumacher movie, and it's a movie that it's not that bad. It's actually decent. Is it as good as the first Batman movie, or as good as The Dark Knight? No, but it's decent, which will lead me into my number 3 movie, which I'll do next time. So until then, I always want to know, what do you think are some movies that people hate that you think they're not that bad? Do you think the movies I mentioned so far are as bad as people say that they are, or are they misunderstood? So that's what I got for now. I'll do the next part soon. Till then, bye.